It all comes down to this. It's time for the gold medal matchup at the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship in the SaskTel Center. Canada and the United States ready to do battle. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Cody Franson and Ryan Flaherty for what should be a terrific game featuring lots of talent, lots of athleticism, and a pretty big rivalry.
Well, and Canada's going to go as far as Finn Halliday and Matt Bowes take them 32 and 31 points respectively. They're driving the bus on offense. As for the Americans on the other side, a little bit more balanced attack. I look to Ryan Colsey to have a big game. 15 goals already in this tournament. Nate Senez as well with 18 points. The Americans are going to have to go punch for punch with Canada, and that's not easy to do. Plus, you got to get the goaltending of Jackson Curtis to be stellar like it has been for most of the tournament.
We're going to hear from the third member of our crew, Ryan Flaherty, down between the benches.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and I think everyone's been looking forward to this matchup all week long, and a couple of teams that took a little bit different routes to get here. Canada had what may be termed the easier group. They really haven't been pushed all that hard in their first three games, including in the semifinal where they had a pretty easy time of it, winning fairly handily, but they still feel really good about their game. They were even able to rest a few guys, some key players, in their semifinals, so they feel very fresh for this championship game. As for the Americans, they're feeling battle-tested. They played the bronze medalist Israel twice this week, and they feel that they are ready to rock and roll. The word coming from the USA bench, how do they feel tonight? Dangerous.
They've been feeling dangerous for a while now, and this is a group. One of the things that Andy Ogilvie said to me, their D coach, was that he doesn't have to teach them a lot of things. He's a legendary defensive player and now coaching, and he said it's not like we're teaching them all the details of the game. It's more fine details, more tweaks than it was just teaching them how to play box.
And they look a lot better than they did last year. I know age is your best experience builder, and so far they're looking like a lot more of a veteran group. And between the pipes, I think you got to look at Jackson Curtis as being one of the best of the tournament so far. He's got an .822 save percentage. He'll be starting for USA. Cross the floor from him, it's a returning, and Shane Friesen. Swift Current Ellen has a .787 in this tournament. Came in, played half of the game in the semifinals against Scotland. We know he's going to be ready. Now is Canada's offense going to live up to the hype? Because they've been ready all tournament. Now's the biggest test.
They've been awfully good all the way along. We'll see how it plays out. This is the battle of the Martys as well. Marty O'Neill, the head coach for Canada, up against U.S. led by Oliver Marty. So this is going to be a fascinating one. We are about to get underway. It will be Ian Giesman for the U.S. as usual, and Will Angus, who had a hat trick last game for Canada, taking the face-offs for them. The U.S. comes away with it momentarily off the face-off, and now they will get it back. It is snagged by Jason Pachota, who has been outstanding, and he's going to get up over center. The alternate captain will look for someone to come off the bench, and that is going to be Cooper DeMalley. Up top to Ryan Colsey, who, as you mentioned in the pregame, has been on fire with 15 goals already in the tournament. U.S. wearing their road whites, Canada in their home reds. That pass doesn't connect. It's going to either be an over back or the 30 will run out. Colsey almost got a shot on net, but the 30 will expire. Canada gets their first possession.
And Canada's got a big, strong defense, right? So if they're able to keep the Americans to the outside, they're going to have a lot better chance because USA likes to score in transition, and they like to cut to the middle.
Canada has featured great ball movement. Here's Goodman, Joshua Goodman, who was the player of the game last tournament for Canada with a big night. Here's Xander Delarond, he and his twin brother Seth bringing a lot to the table. Goodman getting checked on hard. Delarond sets a pick and they get the shot off. U.S. has it and they'll break out quickly. Forney, Bennett Fry racing off the bench, immediately stops up and doesn't run past. That is the mistake so many players make when they're racing off the bench, and he does a great job of breaking down.
He's been one of the best defenders all week at this tournament.
He has. He's been excellent all over the place. TJ Carl at the top for this shift for the U.S. Tate Watts with the rip from the outside. He's been quiet. We expected a lot from him. Here's Fry, though. Protects it from Furmander. Nice job. Thought about transition, realized it's more important to keep possession, and hands it off to Dagan Carlson, one of the alternate captains for this Canadian team. Matt Bowes has been sensational, leaves it there for Max Pacioretty. Here's Carlson. A couple of cutters through the middle. high level of activity and intensity for this game. It's behind Curtis, and it's picked up there by Bose. Remember, you can reach into the crease to get the ball in international rules, so they get that, and Canada has a fresh possession. And here's Will Angus. He was setting up right on the crease and had all of his goals from right on top of it last game. Here's Bose coming down the middle, stopped by Curtis, who has been excellent.
And Bose was quiet in that semifinal game, right? He only had a goal and 2 assists. And for his standards, that was an off night for him. So I expect him to be much better tonight.
Since he had 18 in the opening game, I mean, it was ridiculous. He and Finn Halliday looked like they could almost score at will at times in this tournament. Stiffer test tonight against a strong U.S. club with a really tremendous defensive group. They play as a unit. There's a chance on the crease, and a big hit will flatten the U.S. forward into the paint.
And if there's something Canada can do better in this game, it's play more physical, but you still have to stay out of the penalty box because you could intimidate this American offense.
Yeah, you're walking that fine line. Canada has a huge group of defenders, or a group of huge defenders, I guess would be the way to go to say it. Here is Halliday trying to fight through, and this is showing the U.S. defense because Delaron will get a shot that's stopped by Curtis, but Halliday's been able to just walk through a lot of defenses in this tournament. He cannot against these U.S. players.
And Finn Halliday's got 18 goals in the tournament. That's in 3 games, I will remind you.
Yes. Here's Ryan Colsey with it. Had 9 in a single game earlier. Backdoor pass to Molly, no quick stick. Oh, what a save by Friesen. He was actually kind of bumped by Gray, which limited him, but he was able to get the hand up. That's his best save of the tournament. Comes over to Colsey. He'll just fire one. Saved by Friesen. The rebound snagged. Watts was thinking dunk, throws it out instead, and Friesen was facing the wrong way.
What a play by Tate Watts to notice that Shane Friesen was in all sorts of scrambles after that massive save, and it's a perfect finish out in front. But you see Ryan Colsey get between the defenders. He's not being like, oh, he's out of position, I'm just going to hang out here. No, he finds the open floor, and Tate Watts, the kid from Kentucky, hits him with the dart. And so Ryan Colsey now has 16 goals on the tournament, and USA strikes first.
Perfect teamwork by that double, and the U.S. gets underway, or that duo, I should say. I'm Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen and Ryan Flaherty. Thanks for being with us for the gold medal match of the IIJL World Juniors here at the SaskTel Center in Saskatoon. Pass tossed back up, grabbed by Senez. I think it was actually going to Carl. No harm, no foul as they set up, and Jackson Carawan will let one rip. Illegal pick called, though, and Canada's going to get it.
And Shane Friesen is moving a lot here earlier. We know he's an undersized goalie, but when he's at his best positionally, he can be elite. Want to see him settle down a little bit early.
Yeah, you don't want him to be too excited and jumping around. You want to be reacting instead of getting too much going. Here's Pacioretty. Oh, had Bose open, but it was a little bit high for him. Pacioretty will come and set the pick. There's the roll. Nice job to get the shot off, but he was being checked by Newman. The pace of this game is a substantial step above what we've seen throughout most of this tournament.
And Pacioretty, when he's most effective, he's moving his feet. As you saw that shift, he can open up space on the floor just by using his wheels.
Fermander up for the offensive shift here, and he'll flick it across. He's kind of gone back and forth in position. There's a rip from the outside. Friesen has it. It comes back out. Another rebound chance. Great hustle to get down by Matthew St. Germain, the captain of Canada, to take away the rebound opportunity. You can see that there's contact every time a U.S. player tries to go through the middle. That one's going to get up and out of play.
It's a nice pass that got over to Marco Fermander, but he tried to pull it a little too tight short side.
Nathan Wagstaff, an alternate captain for Canada, leaves it there for another A. Dagan Carlson. Looked like he was thinking underneath, but Pachota was ready. Gets the pass through to Francis Grayson, who makes a nice play to shovel it over as he's falling. Bose gets a pick from Goodman. Double screen with Grayson jumping in. Feeds it through. Great pass, great catch. But Jackson Curtis says no, turns it aside. Canada gets it back, though. Carlson has a cutting Angus, but he didn't think he was open enough. Now Goodman spins off a check, gets dragged down. Not to the level of a penalty, and the U.S. will break out.
Canada hasn't seen this tough of a defense yet. This is the toughest test they've faced all tournament, and it shows 6 minutes in.
It really does. That they are having to work much harder. Not that they're going to have a problem with that. They don't mind it. It's just it takes a bit to adjust to the muscle memory, the mental memory. Hard rip by the big man, TJ Watts. We said they were looking for, or Tate Watts, they were looking for more from him. He's gotten a goal and an assist on their first 2 points.
Only his second goal of the tournament for Tate Watts, and you can see him. He can rip the pill, and the big man just goes low to low. He stands at 6'5", and I think that might be an underestimate. Look at how big he is out there. It's a low to low, and Shane Friesen, again, guessing a little bit, moves over to his left and opens up that space.
Nice finish after the beautiful pass for the first U.S. goal. And Canada, they are not used to trailing. It's a nice strip by Carr.
Ian Giesemann, 3 for 3 on the face-offs.
He's been great all tournament.
USA, goal number 2 to number 66, Tate Watts. Assist from number 39, Nate Sens. And number 3, Ryan Colsey.
There's another chance. They're going to say crease violation, though. Is almost a 3-0 lead.
Well, that was a close one, and Canada is lucky because they're caught off guard here. They don't know how to handle these American athletes right now.
Canada back into the offensive zone now. Halliday will try and take advantage here. Thought about the behind-the-back flip. Probably wise to have not made that one because it looked like somebody was lurking. I think it was TJ Carl. Here's a dunk attempt. Good defense there by Kessler. And it's going to roll into the crease. Swatted by the Canadian forward, who then gets a mouthful of stick for his efforts. Carlson's fine. He's back up. Bose, fresh 30, bounces one. That's going to come right back out to him. It's actually closer to Halliday. They have the counter on the floor. There should not have been a reset. That's why Canada's just rolling into the corner. It was down to a couple seconds.
And when I talked to Oliver Marty before the tournament, I said, what did you learn about your team from last year? He said, we needed to be more athletic. We needed more athletes on the floor. That's how they built this team, and you can see it. They've got a lot of runners.
Colsey spins off the check. It's a nice pick through the middle. Behind the back attempt by Vandenberg. There's another behind the back from Colsey. Both miss. But it's going to go right back to Fermenter. He's got 5 to get a shot on net. He does, and he scores. That's through the wickets. And Shane Friesen looks a little shaky as he gets up. Gets a tap from Jordan Scott. They say, don't worry, but hey, it's 3-0.
3 goals on 9 shots now for USA. And this one from Fermenter. Well, it's a perfect pick set by Colsey. It's still an outside look at a low-angle shot where I think Shane Friesen's going to want it back. And Marty O'Neill might have to use a timeout here soon.
Yeah, he might give them a little chance to try and turn things around on their own. Here comes Riley Strube. The lane opens up. Reese White gets out onto him, one of the birthday boys on Team Canada. We will get into that in a bit. US moving it around. Backdoor attempt to DeMalley. He can't get it. Strube gets a shot. The 30 will expire. And it will be coming up in the stick of Nathan Wagstaff.
Well, in gold medal games, it's usually who blocks the most shots is who wins. And so the defense is going to have to put their body on the line a little bit more.
Halliday finds Seth Delaron coming off the bench. Back to Halliday. Goodman looking on the back door, but a drive to the net. Shot far side, just wide. It's grabbed there by Bose. 5 on the shot clock. Gets one on net, but the U.S. just not letting Canada have any easy chances.
And you see the goaltending of Jackson Curtis where he hardly has to move. He's got an .822 in the tournament, and I know those aren't numbers that make you fall off your chair, but that's consistency at a junior event.
Ryan Colsey, son of Roy, takes the pass, hands it over to Carawan. Nice little stutter step move, tries to go cross floor, gets there. Dunk attempt by Watts, and that's in. Is it not? I thought that was over the line because Friesen was behind the line.
Well, Friesen fell into his net, and again, there's no video replay here, so ref says play on. I think if you're Canada, you are sighing relief and saying just get up the floor.
It'd be fun to have another peek if we get a chance, but the action's so fast and furious, I'm not sure when we will. Here's Halliday. The glove is gone from one of the U.S. defenders. He grabs it back. Hard rip. The stop again, though, by Jackson Curtis.
That was Carawan who actually lost his glove. So he's a forward playing back on defense. And when you're missing the safety of your right mitt, it gets a little dicey back there.
He pretty much put his hand behind his back until he was able to pick it back up. There's a hard rip. Carawan has it. Another chance to shoot here. Friesen gets that one. It pops out along the board. Stenez going after, but Canada comes up with it. Ryan, did you have something quickly between the benches?
Well, just saying, like, the U.S. in their semifinal against Israel made some defensive adjustments, and they really made it hard to get to the middle for that Israel team. Now, Canada obviously a lot more dangerous up front, but having similar struggles right now, really fighting to get to the middle.
There's a chance to get to the middle, but Angus unable to accept that pass. He went through the crease.
Angus has 4 goals in the tournament. 3 of them came in their semifinal win over Scotland.
And he's a guy who has scored on the crease, who's been getting inside for them. So might be someone who can make a big difference. They've got the size, too, up front, as well as the defense. The U.S. with Colsey hands it off. Watts, who's got a goal and an assist. There's Watts right on the crease. Dunks again. That one's on the back of the net, and that's pretty spectacular by Friesen to be able to balance himself and come up with that agile play.
Well, I think the defender got his stick in the way. It must have been Jordan Scott back there who stopped Watts from actually even getting the dunk attempt off as the ball fell behind the net.
Here's Halliday. Gets a pick from Xander Delarond. And the U.S. just playing the defense so well on that two-man game that Jackson Curtis can just see that shot, and here comes the U.S. again.
Halliday's got to drive that down low. We have room. It's just about finding your confidence now.
Boney will just hand it off. Riley Strube. Down to Furmander. Hard rip. It's wide, didn't get a piece. That didn't either, so 3 seconds on the shot clock. Scooped up by Reese White. Big collision as Wagstaff came to set a pick. White's going to slow it down. Carr is there to help him out.
One of 3 birthday boys this weekend. You've got Max Poncheroni, you've got Reese White, and Finn Halliday celebrating birthdays.
And there is a cake in the fridge in the Canadian locker room ready for them after the game. They're hoping it will be a birthday/gold medal celebration. Here's Bose to the net. They're going to have to get some things moving if that's going to happen. Goodman tries to fight in. Shot clock running out. Behind the back doesn't quite connect. U.S. possession.
And you see Bose cut to the middle as a lefty. Well, he kept his stick in a vulnerable position. For a defender, you're licking your chops. Kyle Rubisch made a living off of that. Is that little chop at the top of the hand, and that's just going to knock it free 9 times out of 10.
Colsey slows it down, tosses it back up, coming into the final 2 minutes of this first quarter. This one is flying by. Save there by Friesen. Canada's going to try and get something rolling as Bennett Fry comes forward. He's got his man, Poncheroni, but he can't get the pass through. Nice hustle by Carlson to get it back. Poncheroni spins off the check from Boney. Fry doesn't have his stick. He'll have to shove aside Pichota to get it. That shot is stopped by Jackson Curtis with no trouble.
Now 10 saves for Curtis in this quarter.
Maybe it was a touch of trouble because he had to adjust his glove after. U.S. going back into the offensive zone. The captain, Damali, gets it back immediately from Furmander. 10 on the shot clock. Moving pick or illegal pick. Canada's got it with 1:08 left to try and get something going, and they throw it away. It's a bit too far for Aiden Carr.
Second time Furmander's been called on that moving pick, though. You got to be a little smarter because offensive chances don't come around too often.
He's got the ball once again. Hands it off. We'll see if he goes and sets one. Nice move by Colsey, but the save by Friesen. That's going to be a penalty. Is it going to go to Colsey or Canada?
It's going to go to Canada, I would assume. It was a push in the back, and USA is going to the power play.
Here's the replay.
Jack Dulong going off. He's taken 5 minors already this tournament and called this one number 6 with 49 seconds left to go. Good to see Shane Friesen pop back up, though, but now it's a big penalty kill. You're down by 3 already. Canada's going to need a huge stop.
Final minute of the first quarter. A little confusion for Canada getting their defenders set. They will have Saint Germain, Fry, it's like White and Green out there on the penalty kill. Damali at the top for the U.S. Strub goes over to the righty. Senez is going to fire one. Illegal pick called there on Tate Watts, who wound up.
And it's moving picks again. That ball bounced up and in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So if they play that clean, USA could be shaking their heads at the end of this one if they don't win.
3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So Canada's not pulling Friesen to go 5-on-5. Remember, they are shorthanded. Seven on the shot clock, and it just pops away from Bose. That hard rip comes off the back boards. 4 seconds. U.S. going to see if they can get a chance. Colsey couldn't catch it, so we were going to go to the first quarter with the U.S. scoring 3 goals, Canada scoring none, and the crowd here at the SaskTel Center is in a bit of stunned silence. We'll be back to the gold medal game of the IIJL World Junior Championship here right after this. Thanks to BioSteel, a sponsor for the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship, and we're going down to the bench with Ryan Flaherty.
Yeah, here with Canada Associate Coach Todd Wilfong. Todd, a bit of an unfamiliar position for your group here this week. How do you generate some offense and get back in this?
Well, I think we got to just move the ball a lot more. We're holding on to it too long. We're not moving our feet. They're big, they're strong. We just have to use our skill level and play our game and stick to it from the very beginning.
It was a pretty quick start for the U.S., but your defense seems to have settled in a little bit. What do you like about what's happening on the defensive end, but what adjustments do you need to make?
I think we're just playing, we got to stick, like I said, same with the offense. You got to stick to our game plan, test the shots, look after our end, help our goalies out, battle for loose balls, and hopefully we can come out with ahead in this quarter.
All right, thanks for this.
Thank you.
Guys?
U.S. Indoor Lacrosse represents the United States at the IIJL World Juniors and is the host for the IIJL World U18 and U16 Championships at the Nexus Center in Utica, August 21st through 24th and 27th through 30th this year. We are back. It is 3-0 U.S. over Canada. And Cody Jansen, so far, what are the keys as we take a look, first of all, at a pack here of some great plays?
Well, the key for USA, we said you got to get to the net. You got to get through this Canadian defense that's big and strong, and so far they've done that. You see Jordan Scott lay the hit on Tate Watts, and there's the latest penalty, but it all starts because they're going to the net, and Ryan Colsey is fearless when it comes to driving the goal. USA on the power play for the next 71 seconds. They were 2 for 6 in the semis against Israel. They've got another gear to get to as well.
Battle ball scooped away by Giesman. Another win for him. Gets it to Boney, who will move forward and pass it off to set up the U.S. power play.
Kenny Boney plays his junior lacrosse here in Saskatoon.
Damali at the top gets it back. Senez is going to go down to Watts. It pops off his helmet. He does recover it. Colsey is on the back door just waiting for a quick stick chance, and that's thrown right between him and his teammate. That hard rip underneath, Friesen makes sure he stays on top of it after the save.
And now behind the play, it's Matthew St. Germain that takes a late shot at Ryan Colsey, and that's going to mean USA gets the ball back with another 30 seconds on this power play.
It's a big mistake to make, and you don't want that from your captain. Here's Senez. Backdoor to Colsey. That one's tipped. Green getting his stick in the way. Senez has it back. Tate Watts finds Colsey. The ball movement looking pretty sharp here, but it's tipped again, this time by Gray. And there's another save by Friesen, who still fighting in a bit, but he's making the saves.
And generally on this penalty kill, you would see Ryan McBride play that outside crease, the far side on your TV screen. He hasn't been playing it. They put St. Germain there today.
Canada into the offensive zone, back at even strength. I wouldn't say desperate to get on the board, but certainly keen to get their offense going. Pacharowny steps into space, rips it, misses, and the shot clock's going to run out.
That's his best look of the game there, and again, he's using his feet to get open.
Boney on the run. Jordan Scott was there if he decided to cut to the net, and Boney saw it, so he's going to hand it off. And here's Colsey off the bench, pretty much untouched to get that shot away.
It's a good save by Shane Friesen, who's now settled in with 3 stops this quarter.
Aiden Carr with the handoff, and the rip, and the first goal for Canada by Matt Bowes.
Well, it was only a matter of time before Matt Bowes found the back of the net. He's got 14 in the tournament, and Carr puts one on the lefty stick, wrong side of the road. It's an awkward shot, and that's why for Jackson Curtis, it's not a traditional save you're making from that side. He kind of guesses low, Bowes goes high, and now it's a 2-goal game.
And the assist to Aiden Carr, who is from New Brunswick and plays for the St. John Rapids in the East Coast Junior Lacrosse League. And they actually got to a 5-game final against an undefeated Halifax team from the regular season this year in the East Coast Championships, and they are pretty excited about what's happening in New Brunswick. He is a great representative of that. U.S. on the offense. That pass through doesn't quite connect. Pass gets through this time. Senez will pull it back to the far side. Hard shot from it by DeMalle. It'll be a fresh 30 if the U.S. gets it, but it rolls up, and Grian is on the run. Look at the wheels coming off the bench. That actually might have opened up some space for Halliday. Gets away from him, and that's going to be a crease violation on Goodman.
What a save by Curtis, though. I don't care if that one got weighed off. Curtis made an unbelievable stop.
He is dialed in. Should point out Chris Burgess, the head coach of that St. John Rapids team, doing a lot of great work with some help from guys like Jarrett Riel. U.S. pushing things down to the far side. Backdoor pass snagged by Scott, and here comes Fry. Oh, he drops it. Scott will pick it up. No transition chance, but Canada retains possession.
Awfully close to being a back and over as well, as he was standing at the half.
Bowes, who has the Canadian goal, giving him 15 for the tournament. This is Halliday, who came in with 18. They're down to 5 on the shot clock. Bowes trying to make something happen. Gets a shot on net, but Curtis, no problem with that, and Pechota passes it out. The U.S. is across the center stripe in a heartbeat.
Pechota had 2 in the semis in their 14-7 win over Israel. He can go in transition. He's got the green light.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Really passes nicely out of the defensive zone. Colsey finds Senez. Hard rip, the save by Friesen, who's starting to look better. There's a pretty big couple of loose ball pushes. They call the one on Canada, so the U.S. gets it. Battling 66s, the big boys, Reese White and Tate Watts. Watts is behind the net and lurking. You can see how intently Canada is watching him. Here's Senez, 17 on the shot clock after they got their fresh 30. Hard rip by Colsey. Friesen knocks his net about 6 inches off the moorings, but makes the saves. That's the main thing.
USA isn't getting quality shots off these opportunities, though. They're coming from odd angles.
Canada certainly looking a bit more comfortable, still trailing by a couple. Seth Delarond hands it off to Carlson. Jagan Carlson finds some space, cuts in, saved by Curtis, who gets a little extra help from his post after it went off of his shoulder. Xander Delarond comes near side to Pacharowny. Here's Seth Delarond. Nice catch by Angus. He is flattened. Takes a big hit as he's falling.
Boy, Pechota can throw a weight around 6'4", 200 pounds, and just hits like a truck.
Kessler near center. Leaves it there for DeGrasse. Josiah DeGrasse whips it down to the lefties. U.S. goes strong right. Kind of clear out for Colsey. Set a little screen for him, but Canada, good defense. There's Bennett Fry covering Watts. Gets it, tries to duck underneath. Nice job by Scott. That one's off of Watts and up and out. So it's going to be Canadian possession. Oh, they're saying it's off. No, they're saying it's off the Canadian defender. The whole Canadian bench is up in arms. I thought it went off
it'll
the
be
US.
going. It'll be going Canada ball. They're just gonna have to hug this one out here and talk about it. You get a look on the replay, and that was definitely off the back of 66 in white.
And they get it right. There you go.
They will. They're pros. They're here for a reason.
St. Germain comes into the offensive zone, leaves it for Goodman. Behind the net, Halliday coming out. Gets a shot and scores. And nice job fighting through. You said he's got to get hard to the net. He did so. And when he's open in front like that, he's deadly.
Well, I think it just comes down to not settling for the easy shots because everyone wants to take and score on those. But for Finn Halliday, you get yourself behind the net. Now you know you're going to get a cross-check up high. He takes that, and he still scores as Jake Sommer was all over him. Got Curtis to bite on that second fake, and then he's able to throw it glove side low on him. Makes no mistake, and as you should when you're right out in front of the crease.
Yeah, and it has. I mean, things have come pretty easily to Halliday and Canada to this point. Opening with a 26-7 win over Australia, then handling Scotland 24-11 in the playoffs. I mean, an easy win over Poland. This is definitely not easy, but they are looking more like the team we've become used to and expected. But the U.S. is not going to go down easily. Pechota picks up that ball off the save, and here comes DeGrasse. They've got Colsey in behind. Gets the shot off. Friesen had to get over there quickly, but sorry, that was Fermander. But I mean, it was pretty obvious where the pass was going. Now Canada at the other end. Halliday, there's a penalty coming as he was buried from behind. Canada gets possession. They're going to get the extra attacker out, and they've got lots of time to work with on it.
And Friesen, one of the fastest goaltenders, gets to the bench. They go 6-on-5 with a lot of time.
Here's Bose. Over to Delaron, leaves it there for Halliday. Delaron setting a screen. They've still got 7 seconds. Pick coming from Goodman. They handle it well. Delaron with the hard shot, bounces out. Almost a chance for Pacioretty. Couldn't quite cover it, and it will be a check from behind. Canada with a power play, a chance to get up to even up.
Well, here you see that transition. And again, if that pass is a little lower, Halliday can actually, have an extra second or so. Instead, it's up high. He's got to jump to get it. Comes down with it, and Newman knocks him into the crease.
Let's go to Ryan Flaherty quickly between the benches.
Well, just something to keep track of here in this format. The scoring record is 35 points in the tournament set by Sam LeClaire back in 2019. Of course, Matt Bose, Finn Halliday now both 3 points away from that mark.
Bose has one. He's passing it over to Halliday. They could have both added one. They may both here. That one's wide, though. And there's a chance for Pechota to come away with it. Kind of checks himself into the boards, but recovers his balance.
USA 4 for 6 on the penalty kill in their semifinal against Israel.
That pass gets away, and it's going to be going to the U.S. Carawan having some trouble with it still. Pressure from Wagstaff. And Canada definitely not content to sit back and let the U.S. kill time. They triple team Carawan in the corner, and that's going to be withholding. Canada will get possession. Great job to not let him come out of there along the boards. And Bose has it up in the offensive zone. Canada setting up the power play. DeGrasse and Boney are the high men on the penalty kill. They're keeping an eye on those cutters coming through. They get it to Goodman, who rips it. It's in! Little hesitation because it caught part of Jackson Curtis. But Tanner Fetch in perfect position, throws the hands up once the ball comes through.
Number 10 on the tournament for Josh Goodman. He got to the middle, and the Okotoks Raider makes no mistake about it. Goes 5-full and just overpowers it. It's something about that net where Jackson Curtis is standing. All 6 goals in the game have touched past the goal line there.
Remember that NLL game, Albany and Buffalo, where all the goals were scored in one end of the rink? I don't think we'll have that, but so far, DeGrasse takes this one. U.S. will slow things down a little bit. The ebbs and flows of the emotional momentum, you can just feel them up here. The U.S., they still believe, they're still driving, but Canada is feeling a lot better. Oh, what a save. Friesen throws the hand up to rob TJ Carl. Now DeGrasse will not be stopped. Runs into St. Germain, who gives him a swat back. U.S. goes back ahead.
That feels like a big one for Josiah DeGrasse. His 7th of the tournament, first of the game, and what a save by Friesen. You get a look at it. We got it with the left elbow. And then Canada's defense falls asleep and realizes, hey, maybe we should cover DeGrasse, who is right in the middle. Down Main Street, not a lot of hope for Shane Friesen to make that save.
Not sure if you mentioned 7th of the tournament for DeGrasse. Puts the U.S. back up 4-3, a 1-goal lead, and they get the ball off the faceoff. Giesman has won a ton of faceoffs. Obviously, it's not just him. You can see there the wingman, the ball team really helping him out. And DeGrasse, the goal scorer, is going to slow it down. Goes to Watts. They go back door. That's stopped by Friesen. I thought that one was getting in. Damali looked like he had it.
You almost had to pull a scorpion to keep it out there as well. And Cooper Damali, dangerous on the back door. He's been banged up all tournament, but he can still capitalize.
Aiden Carr gets it across center and just rolls it over to Pacioretty. Seth Delarond. Around the world by Halliday. Just wide. Canada gets it back. They've still got 7 to work with. Bose coming across the top. Looks like he's thinking shot. He will just flick one in straight in the middle of Curtis's chest protector, and here comes the U.S.
I understand why Finn Halliday would want to go for around the world there. I'm just not sure it's necessary to force that shot, especially when at the time they still had 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, I felt the exact same misgivings. Here's the U.S. on the far side. That pass is tipped by Jordan Scott. Had a really nice tournament last year for Canada and playing well again. 1 second left, and he's going to just tie up Tate Watts so the captain, St. Germain, can trot up over center. They've got the backdoor man, Carlson. Nice pass. That's a big save by Jackson Curtis as the U.S. kind of lost track of Carlson. Now here comes Forney the other way. Carson Forney hands it off to TJ Carl.
TJ Carl, 7 points in the tournament. He come out of both gates as well.
Sat out the first game, then had 5 assists when he got in the second one, taking major advantage of his opportunities. Pass in the near side to Senez, back door, another great save. Shane Friesen has figured it out.
He is locked in now after a rough start.
We know how good he is. You didn't necessarily see all of it in the first quarter, but he is dynamite here. Hard battle along the boards. Newman comes away with it and escapes the pressure. Stops up nicely to settle things down for the U.S. They're not going to have a long possession here, but they're going to have possession, and they will have around 15 seconds, just waiting for their last forward to get out. DeGrasse cuts through, Watts cuts through behind him, and Vandenberg takes what I think was a shot, but was way off target. Here comes Crean, off the post. He had Fry trailing, took a look, realized the shot was the best option. It was a pretty good one, just a little bit too far to the left. Comes all the way to DeGrasse back over center.
Gray had no goals in the tournament, but his best look there.
Senez leaves it for Carl, earning some shifts up front. Cutter, Carl goes through the middle. They pass behind him. DeGrasse rips one near side. That one's wide. Shot clock about to expire for the U.S., but Canada picks up that loose ball. Here comes Wagstaff. Ahead to Carr. Checks. He's fine. Gets it to Goodman. They'll set up. Francis Grayson to Bose. Angus backpedaling away. Canada's already got one forward off the bench, off to the bench for a defender. Angus looks like he was thinking crease jump or dive, and then just opted out and ran into the crease.
Yeah, that's what happens when these guys don't play these NLL-style rules all season long, where that's not actually allowed. Now you've got the opportunity, and so once you drive, you second guess.
Senez to the far side. Oh, what a rip by Riley Strube, who's got a half dozen in the tournament, almost got another one. Off the post and all the way down the floor. Bennett Fry looking for Scott. Scott's going to peel off and get it forward out there.
Strube's got back on defense.
See if they go after him. He's just kind of hanging back in the middle. Now he's going to have to go up and pick up Delarond. Pacharowny over to the far side to Halliday. Canada with 9 to shoot. Forney with all kinds of pressure. Halliday fights through. Good defensive play as they chop down on Halliday, and Strube back up into the offensive zone. He'll slow it down. We'll see if he stays out for another offensive shift. It's been a long one for him.
You don't get that many partial breaks like that. I'm surprised he didn't just grip it and rip it.
Vandenberg. Spins. There's a drive by Watts. Oh, that was close. Did that bounce off the Canadian player's helmet? I mean, Watts was in the crease anyways.
Yeah, it went off of player, defender in front there, and Friesen still kept it out though.
Yeah. Bose is surveying, gets it over to Angus. Halliday cut, but what a job defending him. But then the opening for Angus as they really stuck closely to Halliday, and Angus just ran into the void that was created.
Well, and Halliday's going to draw
the
attention.
man open up front, but it's tipped by Carr. Nice try there by Colsey, but boy, did he ever get open. Canada a little bit fortunate.
Just a wild behind the back shot.
Yeah. Love that play by Fry to wait as long as possible and actually get the pass to Xander Delarond, who couldn't quite finish. But that's
USA was slow to get out because they got a couple players tangled up by the bench.
Yeah. You've mentioned that Fry plays a lot of offense in junior, and you can see that comes to the fore and is helpful for him. It's a hard rip, bounces way out off the rebound. Nice job by Green to protect the ball, and with 17 seconds left in the first half, we have a timeout, Canada. And Ryan Flaherty, you've got something for us between the benches.
Yeah, well, while we have a timeout here, just a quick little tale. I mean, lots has been said about who is and who isn't here and participating in this tournament this week, but for Canadian head coach Marty O'Neill, he said the players that are here are the reason that he's here, getting a chance to coach these young players who may not always have the opportunity to compete in an event like this. He says he's energized by it, it's refreshing, and he is loving what he's been getting from this team all week long. And now they're in a tight gold medal game, and he is just enjoying every moment of it. Guys?
Well, it's tough to defend guys like Tate Watts on USA, and that's the task Marty O'Neill and company have, as Oliver Marty gives them the old how-to. You get to see a guy like Tate Watts standing at 6'5". Yes, he's only got 2 goals in the tournament, but I'll take him on my team 8 days of the week. He is so effective. He's got an outside shot. He's got the ability to drive out in front, and the University of Tampa has a real good one in 66 in white.
He's looking more like the kid we saw play last year. Feeling that confidence, just getting into a groove. Canada will have possession and 20.6 seconds, 6 forwards on the floor for this final chance of the first half. Goodman begins with it. Bose gives it back to Goodman immediately, but he goes back to Bose. That was almost picked off. They were pretty casual about the passing up front. Now Halliday cuts through the middle. Little spin and circle around. Goodman's got some room. Halliday, perfect setup, but the stop by Jackson Curtis.
How did USA just let Finn Halliday walk around? No one had their head on a swivel in the American D zone. They escaped. They're lucky to be up by 1 at the break.
Almost a tie, but it's 4-3 US in a great gold medal game at the IIJL World Junior Championships. We'll be back with Ryan Flaherty right after a quick break.
Welcome back inside SaskTel Center. Halftime of the gold medal game here at the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championships, and it is a real good one through 30 minutes as the United States leads Canada 4-3. Anyone's game heading to the second half. Well, before you know where you're going, of course, you have to know where you've been, and we thought we'd look back at how these two teams got here to this gold medal clash. It has been a great week of lacrosse, and both Canada and USA have had some pretty big moments throughout the week. Let's start with the Americans, who opened up the tournament on Monday with a game that I think a lot of people felt was going to be perhaps a little more lopsided. It ended up being an 18-14 win for USA over Scotland, playing their very first game in this event, and USA led in that one by a number of players, including Josiah DeGrasse, who had a 6-point performance in the victory. So USA off and running in their group. Meanwhile, Canada, they got off to a record-setting start to this tournament, pouring 32 goals into the net against Poland, a tournament record, winning that contest 32-7, a game that Canada at one point led 26-1, and we've heard a little bit about some of the offensive exploits for Canada in that contest, of course led by Matthew Bowes, who had 8 goals and 10 assists, and Finn Halliday with an 8-goal performance of his own. Dagan Carlson even chipped in with a sock trick as everybody was getting in on the fun in that opener. Back over on the American side in their second game on Wednesday, they took on Israel, and it was a very lopsided affair. USA winning it 25-3, led by Ryan Colsey's 9-goal performance. We're still trying to figure out a new name for that trick for Ryan Colsey, but it was a monumental offensive showing by the Americans as they punched their ticket to the semifinals with that win. Canada, they joined USA in the semifinals with another big victory, this time over Australia, 26-7. That one saw a number of players get on the score sheet. Josh Goodman leading the way with a 12-point effort, including 9 assists. So they were both into the semifinals, but still had to win their way here to the gold medal game. And for USA, it was a rematch with Israel in the semifinals, and they were expecting a tougher battle from the Israelis, and they got one. It was a 14-7 final this time, as USA had a balanced scoring attack with no players registering more than 4 points, but it was more than enough to get their spot in the gold medal game. Canada, a little bit easier time of it in the semifinals as they took out Scotland 24-11. 12 different players finding the back of the net in that game, and 7 Canadian players recording at least 4 points in that victory. And that set us up for what we are watching here tonight as these two teams are going toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, blow for blow right here on the turf at SaskTel Center, and we are in for a great second half. We will have first half highlights coming up for you after the break as we continue halftime here at the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship.
Tech Savvy is a sponsor of the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Our thanks to them, and we are glad to be bringing you an absolutely thrilling gold medal final here on Saturday at the SaskTel Center. I'm Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen, and it has lived up to the hype and more between Canada and the U.S. to this point.
Well, we knew this was going to be the toughest test. We've been looking forward to this game all week long. They were on a crash course for the finals, and USA jumps out to a big lead. Canada then goes on a run of their own. They're still going to need to find another level on the offensive side, though, as USA was able to respond right away as we get into these first half highlights. USA jumped out early. Tate Watts behind the net feeds Ryan Colsey out in front. He tucks it past Shane Friesen, who got off to a rocky start. You'll see another shot here by Tate Watts. It's a low-to-low that just sneaks through Friesen. Fermander from the corner. Very similar off-angle shot finds its way in. USA was feeling it, up 3-0. They thought they were running away. No, not so quick, though. Canada back the other way. And again, Carr makes that play happen. Bose finds the back of the net. Now it's Finn Halliday to run out in front. He had 1-1 in the opening period, as did Josh Goodman, who got the third for them. You'll get another look here at the Goodman marker, just right out in prime real estate. Finds the back of the net, but it was USA who was able to respond as Josiah DeGrasse back in transition. It's right through the middle. Again, you get to those good shooting spots, they're making Canada pay.
The gold medal and silver medal will be presented tonight. The bronze medal has already been awarded, and we've got some highlights of that one. That was a terrific game as well.
Absolutely. Israel and Scotland lived up to the physical battle. There you see Nolan Eastwood, one of the best forwards in the tournament, lowers the boom, scored the first 2 goals of the game, actually. That's in the first 5 minutes of the contest. Eastwood was rolling, but then Israel and Stu Sturparn's squad, they hit the change-up button, and it's Josh Fonchuk. 5 goals in the game for Josh Fonchuk. So good in this tournament. He was just absolutely stellar. There you get a SC top 10 look at the BTB on the move. And Jackson Baker, great as well. This is a feed up to Fonchuk for his 3rd of the game. The kid just couldn't miss. Also, Eric Tompkins had 5. Fonchuk, another shorty, goes top shelf. He was lights out. Israel, first ever bronze medal at the 2023 IIJL World Juniors.
That was a very good game. We are going to be back with a great game, the second half, coming between Canada and the U.S. I'm Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen. We've got Ryan Flaherty with us between the benches, and we'll be back to the IIJL 2023 World Juniors right after this break for the second half. The Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association and the Maritime University Field Lacrosse League are proud education and career development partners of the CLL. Visit cufla.ca and mufll.ca for recruitment opportunities to play university lacrosse in Canada. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the IIJL World Juniors 2023. It is 4-3 U.S. over Canada, a barn burner. Low scoring, but certainly no lack of excitement, Cody Jansen.
Yeah, the offenses are still finding their rhythm, as these defenses, we knew how good they are. They're big, they're strong, they're physical, and neither team had played each other. They're the best competition in this tournament, and so it is a little bit of what we expected in an absolute battle through 30 minutes. Now it's going to be what offense has something new in the tank. Because you've seen them, now you've got a feel for them. Who's got that different play? Who's got that next gear that the other team can't match?
We will see starting right about now. Giesemann and Angus. Giesemann pops it out to himself, takes a look around, nobody near him, so he will just make the short pass to Forney, and the U.S. has first possession of the second half, along with their 1-goal lead.
Giesemann's only lost 1 draw in this game.
How many has he lost in the tournament, you know? About 5?
I don't have that stat on me.
It's not very many. Here's DeMalley getting a pick from Colsey. Canada fights through it pretty nicely. Good work by Wagstaff and White. That pass a little bit zesty, and Vandenberg couldn't get it, and it's picked off caught by Jordan Scott. He's going to go for a run. Little pick from Wagstaff. Good job not making it too big, and Canada comes into the offensive zone.
Clean pick off by the 6'6" D-man hailing from Saskatchewan.
Dagan Carlson gets it over to Bose. Bose and Halliday, again, two huge scoring tournaments. They would just like to get a couple more right here. That pass doesn't get through to Goodman. He gets it back, though. Recreates the opportunity and almost tucks that one home.
See, I think he almost went a little low on that, or if he went up high, there was no chance Curtis was getting anything on it.
I think he was also really focused on staying out of the crease after the bobble. Here's Strube along the boards. Backpedals and flips up to Carawan. Jackson Carawan. Behind the net. Dunk attempt, Watts. That's right off the crossbar. Gets a little push from Fry. It's going to go out of play, and Watts will get it right back where he started. Actually, he's going to have to head over into the corner.
He had Friesen moving to his left as well. Had space.
Watts stepping up. He's going to blast that one low. And the tricky thing when you've got a big guy like Watts back there who can go either side, you don't know whether he's going to go backhand or forehand. It's kind of irrelevant because he's coming straight over the top. So there is a bit more guesswork for the goalie.
I don't love that shot choice by Watts. He's already scored low on Friesen. He knows that's where he likes to shoot. Probably could have gone up high.
Xander Delarond over to his brother Seth. Pick coming. It's a slip from Patroni. Halliday. 3 on the shot clock. He is working quite a bit from behind the net tonight, but he's going to just run out of time and leave it there. And remember, Halliday was left unguarded and came out with a great scoring chance in the final couple of seconds of the first half. Almost tied it up for Canada, but Jackson Curtis with another big save. He has been fantastic, as has Shane Friesen since his early struggles. Behind the net, again, both teams really working back there. Vandenberg watched like a hawk by Friesen, but Friesen can't stop Colsey when they come out to him in the front, and Colsey bangs that one home. It's a 2-goal lead.
He's been the best forward in this tournament, bar none. Ryan Colsey. Oh, another one. 17 now this week as he gets it cutting through the middle. The Canadian defenders know where he likes to go, and he cuts right through 2 of them. And Dulon can't get a stick on him, and Colsey's not going to miss from there. He can catch and release with the best, and that's why Virginia's got a great one coming to town.
Geesman with the win, almost pushed back over center by Carr. Not sure if that would have been an over and back because he'd started once toward the attacking zone, gone back, and then started up again. Doesn't matter though because he made the nice play to get it handed off. And the U.S. will go to the attack again and try to extend their lead. Watts, all in kinds of space, gets his own rebound back. St. Germain was able to pick up a stick, which he'd lost. That's good news for Canada. They're trying to communicate. You can see the Canadian defenders really working on that. DeMalley's shot stopped by Friesen. Scott battling for it, but great position by DeGrasse to get it back. He's taken down by Green. That's a heck of a turnover, and St. Germain comes away with it.
USA just wanted those loose balls more.
Here's Halliday. Goes to the far side to Bose. The dynamic duo trying to get something rolling here for Canada. Slip pick very well defended on Goodman. Delarond tucks it in near post. A little gap. We haven't seen Curtis leave many of those. Delarond takes advantage.
Well, Xander welcomed the Blizz boys into the gold medal game. He's able to rip one low by Curtis and uses the defender as a screen perfectly, pulls it short side. Xander Delarond, he's got 5 in the tournament now. The D-Lax boys are here for gold medal Saturday.
Really nice mix of players here on Canada from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Big spread across the country. Pichota is going to try and pick that one up. He's got Fry all over him, comes away with it. That's 2 of the better defenders in the league battling in the tournament, battling for the ball. Boney hands it off and cuts through the middle. He's staying out for the offensive set. Carawan gets a bit of a pick from Colsey, shoots over it. Scott tries to grab it, still loose. Shot clock running down, but there's about 7 seconds left. Canada can't just completely let the U.S. get after this, but they are going to muck and muck, and they managed to kill the 30.
Now Canada's got to be careful behind the play that they don't take anything.
They're having some words on the way off. And Saint-Germain, that is a bad penalty. You can't do that as any player, especially as a captain.
It's just unnecessary, right? It's just one of those opportunities where, hey, you can be the leader, you can close your mouth and go to the bench, or you can take a bad penalty and give the USA a chance to regain their 2-goal lead.
They're so deadly. I mean, you're going to create more space for guys like Tate Watson, Nate Senez, and in particular, Ryan Colsey. Dagan Carlson goes up to ask for an explanation, and Damali is there as well. He's going to quarterback as they go strong left. Strube up to Damali. Watts has it and immediately goes back to Senez. There's Strube at the top. He likes that shot, rips it, saved by Friesen, goes straight back to Senez.
Strube can shoot almost a sidearm. That's hard to read.
He's got it back, goes down to Colsey. Interesting watching Friesen as he adjusts to all the U.S. movement and is in position to make that a tough shot. Outlet pass. Here comes Carr. U.S. gets 3 white jerseys off the bench in a hurry to take away transition, and Canada's going to have to slow things down.
Canada 6 for 7 on the penalty kill since the round robin.
Carr heads off to get a forward out. 4th penalty killer in the offensive zone. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Carlson will just rip one, a bouncer. It's actually time for Halliday to get one on the net, but he's going to toss it into the corner and make sure they get the D out. Have the penalty killers ready.
I don't hate that look from Carlson. That didn't miss by much. I'm not sure if he actually meant to fully bounce it on goal, but it made Curtis think twice.
U.S. getting into their power play set. Same group as the last time. Watts takes a look at Colsey, who was sneaking in. They're going to go back to Senez. There's Strube from the same spot he shot earlier. Wound up trucking a little bit wider. He's thinking about a dunk, and he scores. Nope, they're going to wave it off and say,
they're going to say
he hit the post first. Right, hit the crossbar.
That's one of the first times we've seen that called off all tournament.
It was made clear to the players and the coaches before the tournament that you couldn't hit the post or crossbar first, but with the stick before the ball goes in. So it's the right call based on what they said they were going to do during this tournament. But as you said, we haven't seen it.
I think we'd have to see
a
a slow-mo.
Yes. Halliday rips one. That's a little bit wide. It'd be really great if we could see another shot of that when we get a chance. Goodman comes away with it, a fresh 30 for Canada. And he's the only guy in the offensive zone. Now they all flood out there. Actually, 4 of them flood out there. They got to send one more, and they do. Pass through to Goodman, just gets away from him. Those are looks that Canada's been connecting on and burying in the tournament, but it's not as simple against the U.S.
Goodman's got 1-1 so far in the game. Couple of chances there.
Colsey carrying into the zone. Hits the cutter. Nice job sliding by Scott onto Vandenberg to make that shot go awry. Here we have a look, Cody.
Well, here you can make the call for yourself if Strube hit the net first.
Oh, he hit the goalie.
Again, it's so close, though, that it just hasn't been called off all tournament.
That's true.
Where if that's the difference maker, I guess it's a conversation for later.
I don't think you can argue with the call in the letter of the rule, but your point that it hasn't been called all tournament until now, I get why the U.S. is thinking, hey.
In a situation where tie goes to the runner, it's up for debate, but nonetheless, it's still a 1-goal game, and USA can't be using any excuses right now.
They're still ahead halfway through the third quarters. This is flying by. Behind the net, another chance. The U.S. really loving it back to the diving attempt. No crease violation. Canada has the ball. Oh, it's just kind of flung ahead, and Cale Green's unhappy with himself. He was trying to get that to Aiden Carr. Got a little bit antsy and just flung it down the floor. The U.S. gets it back. Damali hands it off. Vandenberg quickly to Senez. Colsey has some room, double clutch, but gets the shot off. DeGrasse will track this one down. He's got Green on him. Colsey fights through the double team and gets a reset. Lovely play. Nice save by Friesen, but what a move. Using his size to great advantage was Ryan Colsey. It's hard off the boards. It'll go all the way down the floor. Let's go to Ryan Flaherty between the benches for a quick note as we get down towards 6 minutes in the quarter.
Really emphasize, the USA is really trying to emphasize those off-ball cuts through the middle of the zone on offense. In fact, when they're sending their fifth guy out on the floor, the instructions from the bench are often to just go running right through the middle, and it has been causing some problems for the Canadian defense as they try to keep up with these athletes on the U.S. team.
Bose circles, gets it to Carlson, has it back, tries to go the give and go. Carlson does grab it off the boards. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock. That's off the head. And it's going to be a fresh 30, or the shoulder, they're saying. But either way, it's a fresh 30. And Oliver Marty is saying, it's okay, settle down. Let's play our game. It's such a fine line between being excited and playing hard, but staying calm and within yourself. So far, both teams doing a great job. Halliday shovels it over. Carlson couldn't quite catch it, but gets it off the boards. Pick from Halliday. Oh, I think Halliday was about to cut open as Grayson took that shot. U.S. coming out. Nice job by Carlson to get off the floor so that Fry can come out. He takes a bit of an odd angle, but strips it. I guess it wasn't an odd angle at all. What a play by Bennett Fry.
Fry and Boney played each other in round one of the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League playoffs as the Edmonton Miners swept the Saskatchewan SWAT.
That was a very confident, aggressive play by Bennett Fry, who's just continued to impress us through this tournament. Halliday carrying to Angus. Big pick from Delaron. He comes open, had to double clutch. He's still going to get a shot off. Rips it. He got the goal for Canada, but he can't get that one. 4 or 5 seconds is coming quick. The pass out. Now they got to get it across center. I don't think he's got time to just run it over. Yeah, they're yelling, pass it ahead. Kessler just kind of stopped thinking for a moment, but got woken up and gets the pass ahead. 12 seconds on the shot clock as Strube looks behind the net. TJ Carl wants it, but there's a spot on the far side that pings off the post. First man there is Watts. Carouan has it back, and again, Carl is behind the net. He comes out. There's a look. Didn't touch anyone on the way in. It's along the boards. Watts. Banged by Green. Nice job. Can Carr come up with it? He does. Great grab. Got to stay clear of the center line now. Strube coming, so Carr will just run out of danger and make a nice simple bounce pass. Heck of a play by Aiden Carr. That pass gets away. It's going to be turned over. Yes, it is. Oh, that's a hold. It was very close. I thought maybe Halliday would let go in time. He's like, no, yeah, I know, I grabbed him.
But that's a great play by the Warrenville product in Carson Forty. Look at him keep his feet moving. Because if he slows down, if he just tries to grab it and stop, nothing happens.
Right.
He keeps his feet moving, and Finn Halliday's only option is to bear hug him or let him go on a breakaway.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you for free, he doesn't want the second option.
No, you don't want a penalty, but you'd rather have a penalty there than a wide open break. U.S. 2, the man advantage, 3.5 to go in the third quarter of a game that's flying by. There have not been many penalties. Really well played game. U.S. trying to pressure. They've got Strube up top. He gets it. Whips it behind the back. Colsey steps into a lane, fires. Saved by Friesen, but it goes to DeMalley. Can Wagstaff get it? No, it's going to be Colsey coming away with the ball. They've got the man on the back door, and Tate Watts says, no. Give it to Riley Strube instead. What a rip.
Oh, paint the top corner red, white, and blue. Riley Strube, check the radar gun. It's 6-4 USA. Colsey just hits him with a little flip. They've been shooting everything from the corners off odd angles. This time Strube says, hey, I got a look I like. I'm just going to blast this one around Dulong, and boy, put it right under the bar. USA back up by 2.
U.S. almost came away with it. Carl going after it. He's going to get pinned. It's swatted by Delaron, who gets possession but gets taken away. Giesemann, after about 10 seconds or 12 seconds, is the guy to come up with the ball. Now he's going to head to the bench, and the U.S. goes back to the attack. 6-4, they lead. Could this be an historic evening for the U.S.? It's looking like it. What a blast by Spencer Vandenberg.
Well, we talked about going for the Cy Young, and Vandenberg, 7 goals, 0 assists this tournament, and that's about their top shelf. Tells you why he's got a touchdown himself. USA, and it's a better shot angle. You're getting above those circle logos. That's where you want to be shooting from. That makes it more difficult for the goaltender, and Shane Friesen has struggled when they've got in front of him.
Scooped up by Senez. Or sorry, by Boney, who races up into the front court. Back to DeGrasse, the U.S. getting possession all the time. There's not a lot of data suggesting a strong correlation between winning faceoffs and winning games, but when you win all the faceoffs, like Giesman does, it's got to help. Behind the net, dunk attempt, save Friesen, but Senez gets it right back. To Colsey, tipped off by Green. Green's on the run. Protects it nicely, steps over. Thought about the pass, wisely didn't make it. Couple of fakes, somebody's got to go help him, they do. And he rolls it. He's going to have to grab it back, gets away. Finn Halliday will get it. Some anxious moments for Canada, and then Halliday's knocked down. The U.S. will anybody get the ball? This is Canada's possession still. They're down to 7 seconds. And that's a tripping penalty. And maybe another one. Green gets riled up and runs over Newman, who just walks away.
Canada's getting 2 as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the
Green's
second one.
going, and again, you can see the obvious trip right there. It's on the legs, and then there comes the blind side cross check. You just have to use better judgment. I don't know what you want to call it, but at the end of the day, you can't be doing that. Now you're down by 3, and you're giving the Americans a full 5-on-3 power play.
The second penalty to Green, a 2-minute kneeing minor. I have to admit, I wasn't even quite clear that was in the book. I thought he was going to get the illegal cross check.
Refs are closer than us.
Hey, they're right there, and they were watching it and didn't hesitate. So holding and kneeing, and it is 5-on-3 for the U.S. as they try to extend this 3-goal lead, and time is ticking away on the team in red. Strube with another rocket, just misses. Great job by Jordan Scott. That's on the back of the mesh. It's going to be blown down as Friesen picks it up, and he'll just roll it there for Jordan Scott.
And Strube had room again. Shane Friesen dropped on that shot, and Strube was going high all day long.
Has anybody been shooting harder than Riley Strube in this tournament? Nice job by Goodman along the boards. It pops out, but he gets it back. Pops out again. This time it's going to be grabbed by Eggrotten. But they used a good 22, 23 seconds there. Pichota will slow it down. The U.S. is going to go back to the power play. 44 seconds in the third quarter. Still a little over a minute in the 5-on-3 for the U.S.
4 points in the game for Ryan Colsey.
U.S. going 5 guys inside the restraining line. They are not going to have a safety valve. They're going up everybody. Strube with it. They're going to try the same thing and then pass it off of that look, and a good chance for Senez. Sorry, DeGrasse over in the corner. No, it was Senez. I was right. Scott running it out. He's been terrific in this 5-on-3. Ooh. Sorry, jinxed him. Throws it away.
10 seconds. Not sure why USA isn't going quick here.
I don't know. It's down to 5 now. Maybe they just thought, just let Strube let it fly. Fry will just toss it down the floor, and it is 7-4 for the U.S. over Canada through 45 minutes of play. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with what you do not want to miss, the final quarter of this gold medal game at the IIJL World Juniors. Signature Lacrosse is the official ball provider of the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Visit signaturelacrosse.com, and we are going to visit Ryan Flaherty between the benches.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, USA head coach Oliver Marty just too focused on what's going on in his team's huddle right now to speak with us, so I understand that. But while we have a quick moment, an interesting little side feature for Canada here tonight. They've had a mantra this week, and it's basically been these words: always be a threat. And to illustrate that motto, assistant coach Tyler Rybczynski added a little visual reminder along the bench tonight, picking up a little Army Man figurine, pointing it at the opposing bench. He wants the players to remember they have to be a threat at all times, and obviously trailing 7-4 going into this fourth quarter, it is time for Canada to make good on that threat if they hope to defend their title here in the final 15. Guys?
Adrenaline Lacrosse is an official supplier of the Canadian Lacrosse League. Visit adrln.ca for more. And here we go, 15 minutes to decide an IIJL World Juniors champion. Giesman will try to get the ball back for the U.S. as he has done so well with 26 seconds in the 5-on-3. Can Gray deny him? Giesman swats it back, so the U.S. will get the ball. They will eat up some of the time as Boney tracks it down and heads back into the offensive zone.
They're going to get one look here on this 5-on-3.
Yeah, down to 10, and then they'll both be released. Green and Carlson are up and ready to rejoin the play. Colsey comes in, dives, scores with 3 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Not that it's really relevant whether the penalties had expired, but what another great play.
Hat trick, Ryan Colsey. Stop me if you heard it before. The University of Virginia's got such a good one in Ryan Colsey. You talk about Roy and just the family he comes from, but this is Ryan making a name for himself right now. He is saying at this tournament, I'm the best staying forward here, and I'm going to show it in the biggest moments. 18 goals in the tournament, 3 in the gold medal game.
Yeah, he's been pretty good, eh? Giesman pulls it back, another face-off win, and DeGrasse bobbles that, but nobody near him. The U.S. will set up in possession with an 8-4 lead and 14 and a half minutes to play.
USA 2 for 5 on the power play tonight.
Strong right for the U.S., and they send a pair of forwards busting through to open space for Colsey, who passes across to DeGrasse. His shot gets up and out of play.
I was surprised Colsey didn't shoot that one there. He had room to step to the middle as well. I think he was playing nice.
Yeah, maybe he was just thinking, I've been scoring, they're going to be locking on me. Element of surprise. Nice feed. Here's Bose with the shot. That didn't get through. It hit Egbatten. Here's Goodman. Bose. They are all over Matt Bose. They go to the cutter out from behind the net. Nice try by Dagan Carlson, but he is stopped by Jackson Curtis. Vandenberg on the run. They take away the pass, so he'll shoot. Saved by Friesen. Outlet pass. Canada's got Bennett Fry wide open on the crease. Scores! A pair of nice passes and a lovely finish by Bennett Fry. That's a big one for Canada.
Well, you wouldn't tell it based on that finish, but he's been one of the best, if not the best defender at this tournament. And Fry has the heads-up awareness. When he's going out to change, he sees USA in shambles at the other end. So he says, I see we've got a valve in the middle. I'm going to go to the crease and open up this opportunity. He's able to pull it back across the body and beat Jackson Curtis to bring it back within 3.
And Jackson Curtis has not been easy to beat. So the pressure was on Fry. He comes through, and Canada's got it again, and they are pushing. Halliday actually directing traffic to Delaron, whose shot, Curtis thought it had gotten through him, it had not. Pachota throws it ahead. Here comes DeGrasse, the U.S. back to the offense, but another chance for Canada. They're within 3. U.S. wants to get that 4-goal lead back. DeGrasse gets it from Carl. Carl goes to set a pick. Watts behind the net. Watts is creeping out to the back door. They try to get it to him. They do get it to him. He goes for the dunk. Friesen, terrific save. Got the entire crossbar covered. Fry goes down to make sure he gets that pass and will hand it off to the offense. Grayson gets a pick. Carlson, slip pick from Halliday, really well defended by Kessler. High shot is over the net, pops away from Kessler, but he gets it and calmly gets out of traffic and over center. They've got Colsey off the bench. Nice save, Friesen. Some really good help in transition defense by Carlson. Canada pushing it. It's a 3-on-2. How are they going to play this? Gray heads to the bench, thinking, no, we're not going to push it, but Green says, yes, we are, and bounces one home. Huge goal for Cale Green, his first of the tournament.
Wow, what a time to pick up your first gold medal game, and think back to that save by Shane Friesen on Ryan Colsey. Well, Cale Grehan says, hey, I want to eat too. He rips it 5-hole on Curtis, and down by 2. This is not a comfortable spot for the Americans.
No, you've got a very good, very hungry team with some momentum. It's going to be a violation as Angus tried going a little early to beat Giesman. That doesn't work either. And DeGrasse into the offensive zone. Thanks for being with us, Lacrosse friends. This is a great game. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. I'm Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen and Ryan Flaherty from the IIJL World Juniors. Senez takes that bouncer off the backboards. DeMalley fires it far side. He's been quiet, but that's a loud goal.
Well, when you need something clutch, go to the guy with the C on his sweater. That's Cooper DeMalley for you, and the big mitt comes through clutch. The Middlebury College product rips one low past Shane Friesen. A deflating goal as the Canada bench takes a seat, and Cooper DeMalley says, yep, we're back up by 3.
Pretty quickly after the Canadian marker to turn things around. And again, Giesman with another face-off win.
50 seconds after.
There you go. U.S. really taking their time here. DeGrasse slowly in. They're just getting their 5th attacker out. It's T.J. Carlton. He takes the pass now. DeGrasse can't quite handle that one off the boards, but he does come away with it. It's a pretty all-body spinning shot by Riley Strube. That's going to get up and out of play, and Canada will go down the floor with 11:11 to go.
Yeah, that's a tornado twister.
Yeah.
Wasn't close.
Goodman trotting in. Throw it to Halliday behind the cutting Delaron. Bowes back to Halliday. This U.S. defense is just difficult to get inside on. Bowes can't catch it. He's got Egbraten on him. Has to shoot from outside. Scores from the restraining line. Backpedaling, a little underhand, excuse me, that travels through a whole bunch of traffic and finds a way to the back of the net.
Well, that's one Jackson Curtis is certainly going to want back. Bowes a little low to low, and it goes cleanly in as well. No screen, no nothing. Just one. He caught Curtis sleeping.
Yeah, it looked like traffic from here, from this angle for me originally, but you can see that's just a shot that just not alert. Maybe he didn't think Bowes was going to shoot it because there was a few seconds left on the shot clock, but Bowes catches him. That's a big one for Canada to get back within 2. Still 10.5 to go here in the 4th quarter of the gold medal matchup. We'll have the player of the game presentations post-game. We'll have the all-world teams and, of course, the presentation of the silver and gold medals and the championship trophy. Carawan gets a shot. He skips in disappointment, and Canada goes the other way. Carr has to double clutch, but gets it off the boards.
Aiden Carr is tied for a team lead in points with 3 for Canada right now.
Wow. And there's a too many men call, illegal substitution on Canada. Marty O'Neill's just looking up to the sky. He can't believe it. Todd Wilfong saying we only had 4 guys on.
So Bennett Fry's going to serve it.
No, he's not. He's coming back.
I was going to say, they've used him on the penalty kill a fair amount. That would be interesting if he was their player. But I believe Finn Halliday will be their player to go and serve it. And maybe the thought is give him the rest, get him out of the box fresh, and maybe you got a chance to spring him. But again, the American power play 5 for 2 in the game.
Yeah. Halliday is going to get the bucket off for a moment and get a little bit of a refresher. Here comes DeMalley at the top. Senez to DeMalley. Hard underhand rip is turned aside. Goes straight to Senez though in a fresh 30. Tate Watts tries to bang it in. It's picked up by White. Nice job to withstand that check up on the top of the numbers. Go to his knees and still make a pass out to Aiden Carr. White's banged up, but he makes it to the bench, and Canada can kill some time here. Pacharowny slowing it down. 10 on the shot clock. Rip from the outside. Carlson stopped, and here comes the U.S.
And that's got to feel good for Jackson Curtis, too. He's 7 on 38. Not like he's been bad by any means, but of recent, he really hasn't had the feel of it. He's allowed 3 in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I had just noticed, actually, the shot's 52-38 in favor of the U.S. They're the number 2 seed, but right now, they are the number 1 team at the World Juniors. That one's wide. Can Canada come back? It's grabbed by Green. He's going to rip it ahead to Fry. Fry's waiting for someone to come off the bench. It'll be Xander Delarond, but the U.S. got back. And Dylan Chand, helping out on a door for Canada, was just holding on to Delarond to not let him go early.
And that's why you don't have Bennett Fry serving the penalty.
Yeah.
You need players like that in transition.
Bose with Goodman. Boy, the U.S. is good on the two-man defense. Bose trying to get another one as he rips it from deep. It's going to be picked up by Carr. I thought he was almost had a chance to pick it up and just flip it down to the other end of the floor, but the U.S. will start with it right along the boards. Colsey has it.
That shot was soaked by Kessler. Back to even strength.
Halliday racing to the bench, and the captain, Saint-Germain, will come out. He goes to pick up TJ Carl. Watts cradling, double team on him. That leaves Senez open. He goes down to Carl, bounces it, and Friesen just freezes as he knew he had that one covered.
Great positioning by Friesen to seal off that right pipe.
You mentioned earlier that Friesen's at his best when he's positioning first, acrobatics second, and that was the case there. Here's Grayson. Illegal pick on Seth Delarond. There's a little frustration cradle after the whistle, but puts it down pretty quickly to avoid any chance of a delayed game penalty.
Yeah, they can't afford any more penalties at this point.
You get one frustration cradle, then it's got to be on the turf.
That's official rule book.
That's the official way. Nice pickoff by Jordan Scott. He will trot up over center, being very aware of where everyone is, and now he gets it to Delarond. Canada needs a spark, down by 2 with just over 7 to play. Sidearm pass, Bose rips it off the shoulder, up out of play, and it'll be a fresh 30 for Canada. Pacharowny will start with it. He's quick, darty. Can he get into this open space? Almost, but great positioning by Newman. The footwork on the U.S. defense is really impressive. Here's Bose. A pick from Pacharowny. Bose gets a shot off. That bounces off a defender, and it'll be a fresh 30 for Canada as it gets up out of play.
Well, if Canada's to come back, they need more to Matt Bose and Finn Halliday. Those are elite junior A players that need to be difference makers.
Bose steps back, hands it to Pacharowny. Bose trying to get it, but nice positioning by the U.S. defender, Carawan, and Colsey is off the bench, and they get it to him. Is that a goal? No, crease violation.
Oh, that's another close one.
So quickly to Ryan Flaherty.
Well,
between the benches.
Just listening to the U.S. bench right now, they feel they have the Canadian offense figured out. They said they're trying to go over the top every time, and they feel they've got it covered and smothered right now, guys.
That seems about right. Canada has Finn Halliday behind the net. Maybe they'll try and change it up going to him. Here's Delarond. Canada down to 3 on the shot clock. It's too high for Halliday. Angus will try to whip a backhand as the time ran out, but didn't quite make it. U.S. over center, under 6 to go. There's a chance for Watts to pass it across. Driving in, spinning, Strub misses on the shot. Pretty good move. Behind the back, DeGrasse scores. Friesen thought he had it. No, they're calling crease. Second ref runs in. There's going to be a discussion. Crease violation, no goal. Oh, no, they're going to keep talking. Here's a couple for you, Cody.
Well, let's get a look at this Colsey crease dive, and you can see his knee is not down. That should be a goal for Ryan Colsey. Canada got away with one, and here's the second opportunity. They're going to say there was an American in the crease in Strube who was pushed in, which is correct, before DeGrasse put the ball in the net.
There you go.
50% on the crease calls on that play.
Grayson wings it across. Hard rip from the outside by Bose from the restraining line, but Jackson, no trouble.
Canada's really not getting into the inside. They're settling for those perimeter shots, which is not working for them, and the American defense is happy to let them have those.
U.S. setting up on the O. They're going to take their time, but you know they're not backing off, not taking their foot off the gas. Carawan. Jukin and jiving over to DeGrasse. He's going to drive in. Nicely picked up there by Saint-Germain. Gets a shot off, but they run out of time.
Wasn't a bad little fadeaway shot either. Shane Friesen definitely had to make a strong save. Pacioretty, one of the birthday boys, as Halliday's in the corner.
He's going to try and work his way out. Gets a pick there. Goes to Angus, but he can't catch it, and it's grabbed there. The U.S. running up over center through Egbratton. Goodman trying to check him, being careful not to get overzealous. Nicely done by Egbratton to pass it out, and they'll slow things down over to Carl.
You got to use the full 30 at this point.
Yes. Here's a shot from the outside. Saved, but the rebound gets away from Colsey. That was a glorious chance.
Ball's still on the ground here. Jordan Scott's got to get to it quick.
Goodman has it. He'll step over center with a few seconds to spare, but not too many seconds to spare in the game for Canada. We're down to 3:15. Here's a chance. Bose, what a save! Curtis Jackson, a great stop.
I think Pachota wants a call. That ain't happening with 3 minutes left in a gold medal game, as you got to look at the saves by Shane Friesen.
U.S. into the offensive zone. Trying to pass it down. It gets knocked back, but Carawan recovers it. Bouncing it off the crossbar was Vandenberg, and the outlet pass to Carr.
That would have been a gut punch for Canada.
They're trying to get one back. 2.5 minutes to go, down by 2. Not pulling the goal yet. It's going to come soon. Halliday rolls out from behind the net, tries to duck to the middle, spins inside, going to the net, bounces, and Jackson's just all over it.
Tate Watts was caught back on defense there as well, and for the Americans, that's not a spot you want to be with forwards back in the fourth quarter.
That ball bouncing around. Senez gets it. The U.S. has 15 on the shot clock and 2 minutes remaining. They are that close to an IIJL World Junior Championship. Here's Senez. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Hard rip. Friesen stops it. Boy, he's been solid since early in the game.
He's got to be perfect from here on out.
He's not coming to the bench. Both teams still have their second half timeout. Pass to the near side to Bose, taking it from Carlson. Spins underneath. Again, good defense. Oh, is that in? No, it's off the post and off the back of Curtis Jackson Curtis. He was looking behind him. Here's Newman.
It was sitting in the crease in front of his right foot because that came bouncing back. But now if you're Canada, you got to start pulling Shane Friesen here. You're not going to have many looks left.
You might only get one more chance. And you need 2. The U.S. are definitely going to use some time up here. Colsey drives in, bounces, stopped. Does he get it? He does get it back. Fresh 30. huge for the U.S., crushing for Canada.
What do you say? Best players in the tournament make the best plays? That's Ryan Colsey right there.
Colsey gets away from it. DeGrasse scores! That is the dagger. 10-7, the U.S. is up.
Oh, you can taste the gold medal now. Red, white, and blue. The celebration is on. Who else but Josiah DeGrasse, the kid from Ridgefield, ices the cake. A quick stick out in front and just a perfect feed. Canadian defense, they let him walk through the middle. And you can see Cooper Damali, Ryan Colsey smiling like butcher's dogs after that one.
John Kilbride, the O coach for the U.S., fired up. And Andy Ogilvie, who had been looking pretty tense, pretty intense as he tends to, had a big smile of relief for about 4 seconds.
And USA is going to win a face-off and call a timeout with 36.8 seconds left here, and Saskatoon is in shock.
And Carson Forney has to be careful because Ian Giesman is fired up and is coming to celebrate with him, and I thought he might knock him out.
Well, let's get a look at Ryan Colsey, because in this one he has been nothing short of phenomenal. There you get the first one. It's a quick stick out in front. He's able to cut down the middle, and he finds different ways to score. The crease dive, he's got 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. Biggest game of the tournament, best box lacrosse team the kid's ever played in his life, and he's not shying away from anything. That's what makes Ryan Colsey such a special player. I know he's not going to be an NLL draft until 2025, 2026, but he's got every NLL team on his radar right now. So impressive, and you can just see the poise of the kid as well. You know, he's born in 2004, plenty of lacrosse runway ahead of him. And for Oliver Marty's side, told us before the tournament again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He said, we need better athletes. That's what they were missing last year, they felt. Well, this year, what do they build their team around? Athletic kids, and they have done that every step of the way. They swing the ball well, they move their feet well, they're faster, they're stronger, they're more disciplined, and now they're going to win a gold.
It's going to be a huge moment for lacrosse in the United States. An enormous box lacrosse win about to come, and all they have to do is savor it for these final 22 seconds. Oliver Marty is calling his guys off to get a change, get the defenders out. Colsey shoots from behind the goal line. Wouldn't have counted anyway. 7 seconds. The United States are the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Champions, and they will swarm Jackson Curtis to celebrate an enormous victory.
The States strike gold in Saskatchewan. What an effort. 60 full minutes Oliver Marty's squad just gave him, and one of the best performances, one of the biggest upsets we have seen in lacrosse over the past few years. An incredible showing, top to bottom, whether it was Ryan Colsey with a 6-point game, Riley Strube with clutch goals, Jackson Curtis finishes with an .840 save percentage. They got top to bottom A-plus performances, and you couldn't ask for a better lacrosse game tonight.
It was fantastic, thrilling from end to end, from start to finish, and it was 3-0 after the first quarter for the U.S., 7-7 from there. Very evenly matched teams, a better start for the U.S., and a lot of credit to their coaches for preparing them for this game.
And I think that was a huge aspect of it, right? As we saw them, they were battle-tested coming into this. Israel pushed back. Scotland pushed back. They played close games. They had to go through tough moments. Canada, they steamrolled everyone. They had no challenge until tonight. That's the difference maker.
Yeah, big challenge. U.S. was pushed. Remember, they had some close games with Scotland and with Israel, but they were very, very good. And Jackson Curtis will lead them through the handshake line. He still has his cage on. And there the goalies start to shake. Stay with us. We will have the player of the game presentations. We will have the all-world teams first and second, and the silver and gold medals, and the trophy to the U.S., the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Champions.
Well, and I think that there's other performances on the other side of the floor that we also have to recognize as well. Matt Bowes, he fought back. Aiden Carr, that was his best game of the tournament. Again, for a defender, 3 assists in a game, that's great. But he was doing it at both ends of the floor as well. He was responsible in the D zone. He was making life difficult for the American forwards. And again, contributing in other ways as well. I thought he was good. Xander Delarond, this was his best game of the tournament against one of the tougher defenses. So the D-Lax boys, the Winnipeg Blizz products, they showed up and battled, but ultimately it came down to USA, who was more prepared for this game, and they executed better.
Chris Fox, the president of IIJL, is on the floor, ready to present the players of the game, but the coaches are still shaking hands. You can see the mutual respect between the coaching staffs, Marty O'Neill, Todd Wilfong, and Tyler Rybczynski for Canada, Oliver Marty, Andy Ogilvie, and John Kilbride for the U.S. Graham D'Alvia, the vice president of the IIJL and president of USIL, U.S. Indoor Lacrosse, will present the player of the game to Jackson Curtis for the U.S.
That's an easy choice. Stopped 36 out of 43 tonight, had an 837 save percentage. Best goaltender in the tournament. No one's going to question that.
It's a nice shot. Curtis with the big smile. Shane Friesen, who struggled a little bit early, was sensational afterwards. It was 60-43, the shots on goal.
If not for him, this one gets real ugly. Stopped 49 out of 58, had an 845 save percentage. Generally, if you get those type of numbers from your goaltender, you should win a game. The issue, it was not Shane Friesen tonight. He is the reason it was a 3-goal spread.
Yeah, Canada only scores 7 goals. We're going to present the all-world team, starting with second-team all-world. At forward, Finn Halliday. Tonight, not his night, but what a great tournament.
Well, and I thought Finn Halliday did have a strong tournament as a whole, and that's why you get rewarded for it. Tonight only had 1-1, but in the tournament he had 19 and 15.
The youngster Oscar Page from Australia. What a tournament he had.
From Poland, Preston
Stewart was really one of the driving forces for Poland all tournament. I know they finished 6th, but he had himself a strong showing.
From Israel,
Jackson Baker from Israel, announced as a second-team all-world defender.
Indy again, from Israel,
Ashton Reish, again coming straight over from an IPLL championship to get to this tournament and win a bronze medal.
Makes sense that Shane Friesen grabs that second-team spot. He was the second-best goaltender at this tournament. Jackson Baker, Ashton Reish, my 2 favorite defenders at this tournament. And there you get to see Bacon, they call him. It's the Swift Current kid. Future's bright again. He's one of the goaltenders here locally in Saskatchewan. Just a tough spot to be in. You can't imagine the nerves going through his body before this one. And as we said, tough start. But Jackson Curtis was that good.
Yes. First team all-world, starting with the forwards, Matt Bowes from Canada. Again, they're going to be disappointed. They don't want these all-world awards. They want a gold medal. But later, I think he will look back and be pleased with the tournament he had. That one's easy.
Yeah, if you're debating that, I think we have to have another conversation because Ryan Colsey was the best player at this tournament, hands down.
number 91,
Nolan Eastwood did it all over the floor for Scotland. He was fantastic.
We talk about most valuable player. Well, he was the most valuable player to Scotland and their whole team in this tournament.
The Waterbug, tremendous tournament for Bennett Fry. What a game he had tonight as well.
And all we said is we just talk about this kid constantly. Why are we talking about him constantly? It's because he's doing everything and he does everything right.
And Canada has such a big defense, and Fry's about the smallest guy out there, but he was outstanding. And Jason Pichota from the U.S., outstanding. He is a big defender. He also is agile. He played well both ends, moving up the floor as well, helping chip in.
Notre Dame's got themselves an NLL product on their hat.
Yeah.
From USA, number 0, Jackson Curtis.
The American players were excited about the other guys getting honored. They are ecstatic about their man. Jackson Curtis was with them for the U18s last year and played great. He's even better this year.
828 save percentage in the tournament, phenomenal. There was, they beat him 7 times tonight, but he made the clutch saves when needed to be.
Canada will go and somewhat reluctantly, I think, take their silver medals, and then the gold medals will be presented to the U.S. That's a huge breakthrough for U.S. lacrosse. That is Oscar Page, who just came up to join the second team all-world group.
Born in 2007, I will just remind everyone.
A good chunk of my wardrobe is older than that.
It's a good tournament for the Aussies as well. Finishing 5th, they'll take that any day.
Ollie Kernigan looking great. Both the goaltenders looking really strong. Dishon and McGee. A lot of promise for Australia. Commonwealth Cup will be happening again next winter. March, I believe, are the dates. And that is just such a boon to Australian lacrosse. That is taking off.
Well, you talk with the staff, you talk with the players, and they couldn't be more thrilled to be here, right?
Oh, yeah. And again, Jack Stokes, who played for Australia at the World Juniors, now playing in Canada, living here, and coaching for Australia at the World Juniors. And he wants to stay involved. He said, if Wade Hammond, the head coach, will have me, I'm in. I'll go wherever they need me.
Well, Ryan Flaherty's down on the floor as well. Ryan, these American fans were pretty rowdy in the game, and they were outnumbered probably 5-1 by the Canadians, eh?
Maybe even more so than that. This Canadian crowd came ready to cheer on a champion, and they're, I think, a little stunned. In fact, they were stunned throughout a lot of that game as the USA, with that quick start, was able to really quiet them down and take them out of the game early. And that may have been a bit of a factor as well. Who knows how much of a boost Canada could have had from just having the crowd behind them right from the beginning. But USA did such a great job out the gate that it really neutralized them. And they did give their support all night long. But those American fans, boy, oh boy, have they been boisterous here. And, wow, just what a performance by this American team. And really watching Oliver Marty work on that bench, just coaching one-on-one throughout the game all week long. It's been a real pleasure to watch him work and coach up his players all this week. And the fruit is in their labor is showing right here with the championship.
And Oliver Marty, you're giving him credit as a head coach, totally deserved. But the job he did of bringing in John Kilbride and Andy Ogilvie to run the offense and defense respectively, huge impact.
So I can just speak to John Kilbride because I see him every other weekend. It feels like being an Alberta guy coaching the Americans. It's got to be an interesting situation for him. But end of the day, he said, hey, I'm here to make the kids better. I want to see them elevate their game because they have the ability. They need that extra coaching. Well, we saw it. That was the best the American offense has looked all week, and it's against the toughest defense, right? Like, when you can elevate your game, it doesn't just come down to natural ability and skill. There's a lot more that goes into it. These teams are at the rink for 3 hours a day every morning getting ready for these games. All week, nonstop, they're thinking about lacrosse, they're thinking about this moment, and that's why USA is going to get a gold medal around their neck.
Those medals are about to come. Canada still making their way through the U.S. team. And you can see disappointment for Canada, but genuine happiness for the U.S. players and coaches. And now the U.S. will come forward and get those gold medals from Chris Fox and Graham D'Alvia, the president and vice president of the IIJL, International Indoor Junior Lacrosse.
Ryan, who are you most impressed with on this American team? If there was a player or two that really stood out to you, who was that?
You know what? We've talked about it a bit this week, but he's flown a little bit under the radar at times as Nate Senes. Really loved his work ethic, his hustle, his speed coming out that O gate to get into the middle and mix it up. Not the biggest guy in that forward group for USA, but certainly didn't shy away from any of those big defenders that Canada had to throw at him. And I just really liked his heart and his hustle. He's obviously got some offensive flair as well, but that's a guy that really stood out throughout this week, but especially here tonight. I think he's a real unsung hero, perhaps maybe not unsung, but I think he's one of the sort of secondary real leaders of this team, and I thought he contributed in a lot of different ways for the Americans here, especially in the win today over Canada.
8 goals, 16 assists, 24 points for Nate Senes. When you hear the word unsung hero, that's 39 in white.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great pick by Flats, and we both agree that Senes was terrific. unsung hero because he doesn't do a lot of flashy stuff, but he makes excellent decisions. He's athletic, he's skilled, and he can play box lacrosse. That is so important. Graham D'Alvia, and he is so happy to be handing these gold medals. The president of U.S. Indoor Lacrosse, he has been determined to have a group of coaches and a group of players who are doing it right, who are playing box lacrosse, not field lacrosse indoors. And I don't think you can argue with the results. I don't think you can argue with the product that they are putting out, and they put a ton of effort into it.
You could see Marco Fermender walk down, and again, he gives you the USAR #1. You can see the grin on his face. But I don't think that there's a way to explain how much it means to the Fairfield Prep product and these American players, where lifelong memory gets tossed around a lot more than it should. But this is exactly that. This is staying with them for the rest of their lives. They're box lacrosse players now.
They loved the week that they had on and off the floor, and there was a lot more than a week that went into it. They have prepared and prepared for this moment with Cooper DeMalley, the captain of U.S. Indoor Lacrosse's representative here at the IIJL World Juniors, to be handed the Crystal Trophy.
Well, when USA needed a clutch goal, who scored it? Cooper DeMalley.
I believe that was Cooper DeMalley, yep. Careful with that trophy. They are excited, and DeMalley's got a great grip on it. He'll let them touch it. He's not going to let them pry it from his hands.
That's a special moment. It really is. I get it, the hometown fans wanted to see Canada win, but for USA Lacrosse, this is a giant step forward.
All the fans of Canada are still sitting here, kind of stunned silence, but respecting what the U.S. has done.
I mean, how can't you be stunned, right? It is one of those chances where Canada's dominated this tournament for so long, and now it's kind of a kick in the shins, right? No one wants to be that team that doesn't finish with a gold medal around their neck, and it's a tough way to go out.
It's unprecedented for Canada since it's been this format of the World Juniors. And Finn Halliday has to go down and grab his gear from the U.S. crease. He very respectfully waited until all the ceremonies were over. Hey, stay with us. Ryan Flaherty is going to have an interview shortly, and we are going to have the U.S. anthem right now.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are going to go down to the floor shortly as Ryan Flaherty is just lining up his interview. It's a little tricky because they're so excited to be celebrating, but what a terrific week. This tournament just built and built to a conclusion that was very much up in the air and was very exciting as it happened. And Ryan Colsey has to get a picture taken, and then he is going to be joining Ryan Flaherty. So the two Ryans will be on the floor in 1 second.
Let's go down to Ryan right now. He's standing by with Ryan Colsey.
Yeah, it's a Ryan squared here. Ryan Colsey, you just not only made the final for the first time at this event as USA, but you won it. What does it mean to you to be part of the first ever gold medal for USA here at the World Juniors?
I mean, I think it means everything. To wear USA across my chest and represent my country, and then not only win a gold, but for the first time ever for Americans. It's awesome, and I think everyone on our team feels the same way.
Beating a Canadian team that obviously gave you a really tough game here. Of course, they're the home team. Just what does it mean to be able to do it against Canada?
Yeah, all the respect to them. Obviously, it's their sport, really, and to be able to come in and play their game and beat them at it, it really means a lot and says a lot about the guys that we have here.
And just what do you think was the difference for your team here tonight? Well, how are you able to get this victory?
I think we stuck together. I think our defense played amazing, including our goalie. Everyone on our defense played great, and our offense, we shot well, and we stuck together throughout the whole game.
Well, congratulations on the win. Now go celebrate with your team. Thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Guys?
Ryan Colsey was the best player at this tournament. I know there was some other performances. I know Matt Bowes put up a ton of points. I know Nolan Eastwood was phenomenal, but Ryan Colsey's put his name on the map of every Box Lacrosse fan and NLL GM and coach after seeing this performance. Again, what a week here. It's been such a blast, and I'll always say it, more lacrosse is good for the game, so it's always special to be here and hanging out with you, Stamper.
Love it. A great time again being with you again, Janner. Great having Ryan Flaherty on board. Thanks to our hosts here in Saskatoon. Thanks to all the players and coaches who were so accommodating. Thanks to Rusty and the crew behind the scenes making the broadcasts look great. I'm Steven Stamp for all of us here at the IIJL 2023 World Juniors. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.